This is Season 6 of the Team Roping Journals podcast, The Score. With over 2 million downloads, this is where team ropers talk. Hey everyone, this is Chelsea Shaffer. Welcome back to The Score. I just drove back from Rock Springs, Wyoming from the Royal Crown Futurity. So this episode's coming out a few days late because I wanted to make sure I talked to all the winners. So this first episode this week is going to have the heading champions of all of the open divisions. And then next week, we will have all of the healing champions. So on today's show, you will hear from Colby Lovell, who rode the Myers Ranch bred mare, Yes, I'm Sassy. It's owned by Neil and Jody Wanless, and he is going to talk about winning that all-ages heading that he won, and then also winning second at the in the 6 and under heading. So she had a really big week, and so did the Myers family and Neil and Jody Wanless. So congratulations to them. The next person you will hear from is Tate Kirchenschlager, and he won the 4 and under heading on DCC Fool's Gold, owned by Dasco Cattle Company. That is a 2019 gelding by Metallic Echo, and so we will talk about that horse and then Tate's training program as well. And last but absolutely not least, the person who I think every single time, I know, every single time I do an episode from the Futurity, you get to hear from Rhen of ANC Racing and Roping, and this year he won the Royal Crown 6 and under heading average on Carter's One Time Out by One Time Honor out of Carter's Time by Carter's Cartel. That is a 2018 mare that his brother Caden, of course, has been riding most of the year and most of last year too. That mare was bred by the Flag Ranch and owned now by ANC Racing. It's a 5-year-old mare that I think we're going to see a lot more from in the future because Rhen is learning how to ride her, and he's going to talk about that on today's episode. So, like I said, next week we will have the healers on, but for now, here is the first guest, and that is Colby Lovell, and yes, I'm sassy, but of course, she's not going to be on the episode, but he's going to talk about her. That horse has been at Dakota's, correct?
Yes.
Tell me, have you ridden it before?
I showed her in, Oklahoma City. And when Dakota hurt his hand, I rode her there. I think I rode her one other place. I placed on her. I placed in a go-around or two. I've had some good luck on her.
What do you think the judges like about her?
She does. I mean, she tries hard, and you can tell. You can see the emotion through her when she's running the cow, through her ears, stuff like that. She's pretty good in the box. And, runs right to the cow, finishes good, strong to the horn, really doesn't make any mistakes. She hasn't with me yet. She hasn't made any mistakes. Hasn't felt like she's felt solid. And like today, just where the setup and the steers were fresher, you could count on her, and she was dependable right there.
You don't really ride a lot of running bred horses necessarily, and she's got more run than the ones that you usually ride. Anything different that you do with her?
No, not really. I mean, you can tell, you can feel that the cow is there, like running to the cow, like she hooks up good and strong to the horn. And that's what, it feels like a cow horse to me. Both of them. She does a good job.
The steers were very fresh today. What were you trying to see, and how are you being careful with how fresh the steers were?
Oh, just like any other place, trying to get as good a start as you can to make it where it's easier on the head horse, heel horse, and set the whole run up better. I got a real good start on the first one. The steer was good, and set up the rest of the day when she won the first go-round. That's anything. You get you a good start in a competition, and you just can maintain, kind of can let you ease and take control and just relax.
What about Dakota's training makes him easy to ride behind?
He just does a good job. He lets the horses work. They don't ever feel like they've been picked on or aggravated. They're relaxed, and they hook up to the cow good, and his loop and the way he swings his rope has got a lot of time into it, so the horses always got their feet under them and always bringing the saddle horn to you. Mm-hmm. And, that's a good thing. That's always good. You never feel like you're having to go to the cow, lean on the side of your horse, or the horse leaning against you going the opposite direction.
How many steers are you going to run in these today? How many have you run today, and how many are you going to run tomorrow?
I don't know. Fort Worth was I ran probably 100, and at Nebraska I ran 85, and then here I bet you I run close to 100 or a little more.
You're getting old. Are you sore?
It does, when you run that many steers, I was telling him a while ago, it does get hard to sleep. Your muscles, you get to kind of cramping a little bit, and it gets hard to sleep.
You healed on Bartender today?
Yeah.
Why?
Man, I knew there was a Hill Horse of the Year in there. I just want to show everybody at this Royal Crown Futurity. He did not need back boots. That's for sure.
You can find the video on TikTok.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Bartender was proud of you.
It looked so pretty.
No, Bartender, he's big and he can run, and the steers are fresh. And what makes Bartender so good is he has so much timing in his foot speed with your rope. When I head on him, I'm never in a spot where I feel like I cannot find my delivery. And Heelan's the same way. He has great timing. So even though he can't stop and do all the cool stuff, he still has good timing, and he catches the cow. And I'm never behind. When the cow takes a bad hop, he's going to be ahead of the cow just because he really doesn't know what he's doing right there. But he still has every heel horse and every head horse needs great timing. That's what makes them great.
Very good. Well, where's your next futurity? What's your futurity schedule?
Maybe Guthrie. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. All right, Colby Lovell was one of the busiest men at the futurity, so we let him run back pretty quickly to getting on another help horse because that guy was tired after all of the help and all of the heading and heeling and all the jump riding he was doing. So next is Tate Kirchenschlager. We had a little bit more time to talk to Tate. So we sat down outside of the arena and we got to visit, and I kind of went down a few different rabbit holes with him because he isn't the kind of guy that is always out in the forefront, but when you do get him talking, he's absolutely wonderful to chat with. So this is Tate Kirchenschlager. He won on DCC Fool's Gold, the 4 and under Royal Crown heading, and that is a gelding out of a mare named DCC Smooth Sugar by CJ Goldrush and by Metallic Echo, and owned by Dasco Cattle Company. Give me the rundown on that horse. Where did it come from?
A guy in New Mexico owns him, Atlee Snyder. He sent me a couple horses a year ago to ride, and then he sent me that horse. I guess it had been last fall, early winter. Mm-hmm. He paid him up in the Royal Crown, and I guess we've showed him 2 or 3 times now. Yeah. Gelding. He's gelding. He's by Metallic Echo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Why did he send him to you, and what did he tell you? What did you know about him when he sent him to you?
He I don't know why he picked me to send him to, I guess. I don't know. But they'd ranched on him and broke. He was broke. He said he wanted him shown. So that was the whole goal the whole time, was to always show him. I think he's got a ranch out there and stuff, and they're starting to raise horses and get into more into the raising and stuff. So I think later on down the road in the future, you're going to start seeing him have colts and stuff for sale and be raising a bunch of horses. So he's starting to build a horse program out there, and he said he wanted this horse shown.
So what kind of buttons did he have, and what did you do with him when you got him in?
He was pretty broke when I got him. I don't think he had much of a cow horse background, but whoever ranched on him and rode him outside, they did a good job. They got him broke good. So he was broke when I got him. I just started tracking steers and stuff. He was broke enough that I could start doing that.
And so have you shown him so far this year, or was this the first outing? Or
I've showed him 3 times. Oklahoma City, at Jay Wadham's Futurity, Fort Worth, Jay Wadham's Futurity, and then this is the first Royal Crown I've shown him at. So 3 times. Yeah.
Have you had luck?
Yeah, he won the 4-year-old deal at Jay's in Oklahoma City. And then he didn't win anything at Fort Worth, and then this one.
Why do you think the judges like him? What does he do really well?
For the most part, he's really good in the box. He is pretty. I mean, he's Palomino, and he looks good doing it. I don't know. He just does every step by step at a time. He never gets ahead of you, so he never beats you anywhere. He does everything step by step by step by step, so it don't ever look like he's, making mistakes on his maneuvers, because he just does them step by step. He never gets ahead of himself. So I think that's kind of why.
Is he just good-minded? Like, how do you describe his mental, why he's like that?
Yeah, I would just say he's good-minded. I mean, the horse has a bunch of talent. Like, he's got a lot of talent, but he is so, I don't know the best way to put it. He's a pleaser. So, like, he's always ready to listen to you at any time. Like, and he keeps things very simple. Like, he is an overachiever, and he can do things, how do you want to say it, fast, athletic, and quick, all that, but he's real good at doing everything step by step by step. So I think that helps a bunch.
Gotcha. And what's his future going to look like for you? What do you think? What's the plan with him?
I think we'll finish showing him this year. There might be another place or two we show him this year, and then as long as Atlee and them are good with it, I bet we show him his 5 and 6 year old year, and then I don't know what he'll do with him after that. He might end up keeping him for himself, so he's got a good head horse for himself, or he might end up selling him out. We haven't talked past showing, but I think he's planning on me showing him next couple of years. So that's the plan with him.
What's his at-home program like? What do you said, you just went to track and steers when you started him, but what's his program like now?
It's hot down there right now, so I probably only ride him 3 or 4 days a week now. Most of the time I'll ride him, 4 or 5 days a week, but I do a lot of breakawaying on him, a lot of steer stopping on him. I'll turn it mainly slow. Like, that horse from day one has always been able to go fast. Like, runners is not a problem for him. So a lot of times I rope a lot of slow steers on him at home. I mean, like, I bet when we get home from here, I'll kind of breakaway, chill him out, rope a lot of slow steers. Maybe a couple days before the show, I'll rope some faster steers on him, but I mainly rope a lot of slow steers on him at home.
Today's episode of The Score is brought to you by Bye Bye Insects. Bye Bye Insects combines the essential oils you love plus the fly protection you need for your horse and family into one bottle. Ingredients include geraniol, peppermint, rosemary, citronella, and lemongrass to ensure that Bye Bye Insects provides excellent protection against houseflies, biting stable flies, mosquitoes, and deer ticks with a great smell and feel. Visit Spalding-Labs to order your bottle of Bye Bye Insects today and call their team of experts at 877-KILL-FLY. That's 877-545-5359 to learn more. I mean, I feel like you don't score, you score a medium amount. As far as, like, some guys score, all we do is score. And at your house, you don't score.
Yeah, I don't feel like we scored all at my house. I mean, there's times I'll score, but I do think it's good to score, yes, but it depends. Like, all my steers at my house my arena's really long, and my steers don't start real fast. So if I run 12 steers on that horse that day, I score every time, because I can make those horses stand there and let the steer, 10 or 15 feet out of the chute before I go, and then I go. So it's almost like scoring every time I go. But the only way I can do that is because my steers are slower and my arena is really long. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm going to rub some faster steers on him and say there's 10 fresh ones in a row that run, and I run 3 or 4 runners, I'll come back and score a couple on him. I will. But as long as my steers are slow to medium, to where I can let them 10 or 15 feet out of the chute before I go, and then ease those horses out of the box, I won't ever score on them. But if I do make full contact, live, fresh steers, I will score after a few. But I don't know. It's just kind of how I go about it. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just kind of how I do it.
I didn't ask anybody else this, but I was just thinking about your arena. It is really long, and you just built it. Do you prefer it that long? Is there anything you'd do different if you did your arena again? I mean, you're like a year into it.
I wish it would be longer.
You do?
Longer. Like, I think my arena is like 300, 310. I wish my arena is 350, 375. I love a long arena. I don't think you can't have, which we take all of our ropes off in the arena, so... But I don't think you can have too long of an arena. I wish my arena was longer than it is, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
the trees.
Yeah, I wish it went a long ways. I wish it went all the way to the trees, yeah. I love a long arena.
I'm thinking about your arena. You take the steers off, or you take the ropes off in the arena. What is that? Why? Like, I just did a thing with Cade Rice, and he was talking about it.
Oh, number one, I do it for, it saves time. I can get a lot more done that way, not going to the strip and shoot every time. Mm-hmm. I think it is good for the horse to walk to the strip and shoot every time, but I think it's just as good to teach those horses patience taking the rope off in the arena. Like, we'll get some of those cow horses or cutters that are so scared of a cow you can't even get them next to them. So, like, I think it does really teach those horses I don't know how you say it, good patience to stand there and take the rope off. I think it's good for them. And honestly, I think it's good for your steers. I think it makes your steers last longer as far as hopping and stuff. But that's just we've done it that way since we were kids. But I do think it's good to let your rope go and let your horse walk to the back. I take it off the arena because it saves time, and I think it's good patience for the horses.
Talk about your helper today.
Cole did good.
How'd Cole do today?
Cole did good. He did really good. None of those steers were easy to heel today. Everybody was having heck on. Cole heeled great today. He did amazing job today. Those steers were hard to heel. He did good. Yeah, I don't know which horse he was riding the whole time, but I think it's one he's rodeoed on. But he did phenomenal for me today. Phenomenal.
All right. Like I said, it would not be a podcast from a futurity if we were not interviewing Rhen Richard at some point. And so, of course, him and Jeremy Bueller rolled in from the rodeo trail. They are in the top 10 in the world. They won Houston this year. They have been in a little bit of a slump, you could say, over the last month. But Rhen talks about that in this episode, which is a lot of fun because he's very honest about what's been going on and how hopefully this win on Carter's one time out by one time honor out of Carter's time is going to kind of turn things around, shift their momentum. He won the biggest the 6 and under had the biggest payout, the biggest check. So he won the biggest heading payout of the week on Carter's one time out. And that was $13,271. And then the stallion pay was $1,196. Same with the breeder's pay. I'm not going to rattle off all the numbers, but you'll find those all on the Team Roping Journal's website right now. We've got those up. So without further ado, here's Rhen Richard and talking about Carter's one time out. All right, that mare, when we were at your house in May, had you just started riding her after Caden been riding her?
Yeah, I think I showed her in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. I had rode her for about 2 weeks before that. Mm-hmm. And then since then, I haven't. I mean, Caden kind of rode her again for a little while, and I've rode her for about another 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. But she's got things that are really good, and then other things that I learned right there, you just kind of got to know how to ride her. Like, she's got a little different style. I want my horses to really get on their butt, and she doesn't really want to get on her butt. So she's a little more kind of push out the front and then let her kind of get on her butt to come back. But she got better every run. She scored good, tried hard. I like the mare.
You told me you like her, like that she's going to be a real deal kind of horse, like a rodeo horse. Do you still feel that? I mean, another 2 weeks later of riding her, do you feel that way?
Yeah. She let you pull on her in the box. Like today, the way roping is today, yes. Mm-hmm. We're roping softer type cattle. The barriers aren't quite as long. I mean, she's not a real big mare. She's stout, but she's probably 14.3, maybe 15 hands. So yeah, I think she would work great as a rodeo horse in today's roping.
Have you guys pulled any embryos on her yet?
No. Nothing. She really didn't have any black type on her papers. Like, she was good as a 4-year-old, and Caden just, he roped good on her. The mare showed good, but just one thing after another, didn't get much one on her. And then I didn't get along with her very good at Oklahoma City just because I was still trying to ride her, the way we talked. So I'm looking forward to it now. I kind of know the deal, and hopefully she can stay on the course.
Talk a little bit more about that. Does it change the way you handle the steer then for Jeremy as far as pushing her up forward or, not getting on her butt? How does that change the run that you and Jeremy have?
It actually probably, for these shows, it makes it easier for him because I'm not waiting as long. Like, once I get that steer's head, I can send her back and pull. So he can rope like we're at the jackpots of the rodeos.
You were third call? Did you think you were going to get by them after the run that you made, or what were you thinking?
It's hard to say, right? You know what I mean? Both of them horses that were first and second call were good horses. I just think I got a really good start, and that steer was good. He took one step left, and I think that's why I won. I hit the barrier and had it on that steer, and the time helped us a little bit. Like I said, both of those horses that were first and second call were great. I was plumb happy to win third.
Do you and Caden, how often do you share horses? Like, how often do you get on one to show that he's been riding?
we just kind of started doing that. I think for our program, we probably need to do it more to close the gap a little bit between him and I and the way we ride. I think it's good for those horses to get a little bit of a different feel at the shows. So, he's got to be a big part of what I'm doing right now because I'm gone so much that if he's not, willing to be that team player guy that can ride my stuff when I'm gone, it's pretty hard to have a chance to win.
Did she get the outside riding that a lot of your horses get in the mountains or anything like that?
No, not really. We have used her a little bit, but we keep pads on her front feet. And so we don't really ride her outside that much, but all of them need it. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying she won't get it.
Yeah, for sure. This summer, I remember like 9th round of the NFR, you were like, man, this has been a grind. And you're like, the NFR was such a huge learning experience. How about this last month? Has it been good?
It's been probably the worst month of my rodeo career.
Oh.
And it's not like I've been in a way worse place rodeoing before. You know what I mean? Luckily we had a great winter, so we're still going to make the finals either way. But when you feel like you're a top team and it's just one thing after another, you're not winning. It's been tough, but there's 4 quarters in a game. I feel like we won the first 2 quarters. We got our butts kicked in the 3rd quarter, and the plan is to finish and try to win the 4th quarter and have a great year.
What do you think will be a turnaround, or like what do you think will bust the slump, or has it already been turning around today fixed everything?
Yeah, I think it's good for both Jeremy and I to come here and just go make some runs. You know what I mean? It's pretty easy to press when you're not winning, and you might be doing things that you don't really know what you're doing, and you kind of get things ironed out, being able to just run them down there and catch a few steers. So yeah, I hope to build off this momentum and this win right here, and Jeremy's got 2 good horses in the heeling right here, so hopefully we can finish the day.
Good. Any horse troubles? Are your horses sound that you're rodeoing on?
Yeah, they are. We've been roping smaller type native cattle everywhere, and no excuses, but Jeremy and I have worked hard on making a run for big, strong type steers. So my horses have been a little too strong, a little too free. Same with his horses. They're wanting to run down the arena a little too much. They've kind of been in our way a little bit. So we got to go home for a week right here and kind of tried to make the adjustment. And we're going to go at them the rest of the year.
Were you guys running a lot of steers at home, or when you were practicing this last week, what were your practices like?
Yeah, when I was on my good horses, we dang sure. I went at some and turned, tried to give good spins for Jeremy. And we did a lot of specialized stuff with our horses, like, to try to work on what I felt like our horses were doing a little bit to maybe get in our way. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. It's not like I'm down mentally and feel like I'm in a slump. Like it feels like the next run we're going to crack it. It's just, I don't know, it's been weird.
Good. Well, I'm excited. Pendleton and stuff. Those are all good rodeos for you, right?
No Pendleton.
You're not doing Pendleton?
No.
When did you guys won Pendleton 2 years ago?
No. Both years, both of our horses were pretty sore when we left, and we've had to go prior, so we're in a little better spot now. I don't want something stupid to happen. I guess it could happen anywhere, but the chances of your horse falling and doing something are a lot higher there.
Man, I was just thinking of a good spot that you win good at that was going to be like a high point. Ellensburg. Okay. All right. If you've made it this far through the episode, I think that was a pretty diverse episode. We talked about a lot of different things on the score today. Thank you for listening. Thank you to my editor, Craig Jones, for another great podcast. I am sure I put him through the ringer with all the background noise at the arena in Rock Springs this time. So definitely thanks to Craig for making us sound as good as possible from Team Roping.